Hello dear students. Today I am dealing with chapter number 2nd. The name of the chapter is Absorption of Water. Belongs to credit number 1st. In this chapter, today we cover here the subtopic, the mechanism of water absorption with respect to crop plants. See here, in higher plants, water is absorbed through root hairs which are in a contact with soil water and form a root hair zone a little behind the root tip. See here, this is the root tip region is there. See in this diagram, this is a diagrammatic representation of root tip showing the root hair zone. See, this is the root cap. Below the root cap, there is a meristematic region is present. This meristematic region, it consisting of the meristematic cells. The meristematic cells are highly dividing cells and these cells are metabolically very active. Then above the meristematic region, there is a zone of elongation is there. Whatever cells produced in a meristematic region, after that the cells undergoes elongation, they increase their size and shape, and then the above the zone of elongation there is a root hair region is present. That region it is also called as a root hair zone. The root hairs, these are nothing but the thin hair-like structures are there, unicellular hairs are there, unbranched unicellular hairs, and above that root hair region there is a maturation zone is present. See the root hair. Okay, I am focusing here the root hair structure. Root hairs are tubular hair-like projections of the cells of the epidermal layer. The epidermal layer cells undergoes elongation and produce the root hair. The wall of the root hairs are permeable and consisting of the pectic substances and cellulose. The cell wall of the root hair, it is generally made up of the pectic and the cellulose which are strongly hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means this pectic and cellulose, these are the carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates they attract water towards itself, means these are water loving substances present on the cell wall of the root hair. Root hair contain vacuoles, that vacuoles filled with the cell sap. See, this is generally the diagrammatic representation of a root tip showing the root hair zone. See, when the roots undergoes the elongation, the older root hairs die and the new root hairs are developed so that they are in contact with fresh supplies of water in the soil, and these root hair they penetrate very deeply into the soil and they absorb the water, means the main absorbing organ of the root, it is nothing but the root hairs. See the next I am focusing here The mechanism of water absorption in plants. The mechanism of water absorption is of two different types. One is active absorption of water and second is passive absorption of water. See, the active absorption means in this process the root hair cells plays very active role in absorption of water and the metabolic energy released through respiration is consumed. See, always remember the active absorption. Here the root hair cell plays important role or actively participation of root hair cells, and here the energy is required, that energy is consumed in the form of ATP. See, this active absorption of water again classified into the two different types. One is osmotic absorption and the second is a non-osmotic absorption. Here the firstly I am focusing here the osmotic absorption. The osmotic absorption, that is when water is absorbed from the soil into the xylem of the root according to the osmotic gradient. And the non-osmotic absorption, that means when water is absorbed against the osmotic gradient. And the second main type is passive absorption of water. In a passive absorption of water, here the mainly this absorption, the concentration gradient or whatever osmotic gradient, they do not plays any role. Here this absorption are takes place through the transpiration pool, xylem tissues and the root cell plays a role, but here they do not consume any energy. See, the first of all, here the active absorption of water. In this process, the root cell plays active role in the absorption of water and metabolic energy released through respiration is consumed. I am already discussed this point. Then this active absorption is again divided into two types. One is osmotic absorption, when water is absorbed from the soil into the xylem of the root accordingly to the osmotic gradient, and the non-osmotic absorption, when water is absorbed against the osmotic gradient. Then next, here the active osmotic absorption we see here deeply. Intake of water by the root hair cell by operating of osmotic forces and by the use of energy is called osmotic active absorption. See, here the water is absorbed by activity of root hair cells. Means here the root hair cells are actively participate in absorption process. Here the osmotic pressure, it is also called the OP. When the water enter within the cell, then within the cell there is a development of osmotic pressure, then root pressure, then the turgor pressure and DPD, diffusion pressure deficit, plays the main role in active osmotic absorption process. The water moves from hypotonic solution to hypertonic solution. See here some terms, important terms are given here. The see firstly all of you knows about the osmosis. Osmosis, it is a nothing but the movement of water or the movement of any solvent takes place from the solution of lower concentration to the solution of higher concentration until a state of dynamic equilibrium is attained. Means simply you keep in your mind here the osmosis, it is a nothing but the water or any solvent they followed or they flows from the lower solute concentration towards the higher solute concentration until a state of equilibrium is attained. Then here the diffusion, okay, the diffusion, it is another concept. Here the movement of particles or any substance from the area of the higher concentration to the area of the lower concentration due to their inherent kinetic energy till they get distributed uniformly until a dynamic equilibrium is established. Okay, then the DPD, it is a nothing but the diffusion pressure deficit. All these are plays a very important role. And see the water moves from hypotonic solution to hypertonic. See firstly I am focusing here the what is mean by the hypotonic solution. See a hypotonic solution, a solution which contain more solute than the solvent. For example, a lot of salt. Salt, it is a nothing but the solute dissolve in a water. Water, it is a nothing but the solvent. And the hypertonic solution means a solution which contain more solvent than the solute. For example, purified water. There is almost no solute dissolved in the purified water, and the water here moves from the hypotonic means from the higher solute concentration towards the lower solute concentration. The root here cell suck the soil water and xylem vessel pump the water upward. The xylem vessel here pump the water upward through the towards the stem region, and from the stem water is distributed all over the body parts of the plant. Here the first step in osmotic absorption of water is the imbibition of soil water by the hydrophilic cell wall of the root hairs. See the cell wall of the root hair, it is made up of the pectin and the cellulose. This pectin and cellulose, these are the carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates are nothing but the hydrophilic substances. They attracts water itself, and through the cell wall water get imbibed. Then osmotic pressure of the cell sap of the root hair is usually higher than the osmotic pressure of the soil water. Means here within the cell sap there is more solute is present than the soil water. Okay, and that's why here the osmotic pressure of the cell sap is higher than the osmotic pressure of the soil water. Within the soil water there is a less solute is there, okay, and within the cell sap there is more solutes are present. Therefore here the diffusion pressure deficit and the suctional pressure in the root hair cell become higher. Means here the diffusion pressure deficit, it is also called as the thirstiness of the cell. The cell is more thirsty, then it's absorb the more water, it's suck the more water from the soil, and here the thirstiness and the suctional pressure in the root hair cell become very higher, and the water from the cell wall enters into them through the plasma membrane by osmotic diffusion. Yet the osmotic diffusion takes place here, the that within the root hair cell there is a more solute is there, within the soil there is a less solute is there. Here the opposite condition is uh, created in a root hair cell. It's having a hypotonic solution, it is nothing but the cell sap, and within the soil there is a hypertonic solution, means they have a less ions concentration, and here the water is enter from soil into the cell wall, and through the plasma membrane water is enter through the or by the osmotic diffusion takes place. As a result, the OP means osmotic pressure and suctional pressure as well as the DPD of the root hair now become lower. Immediately after entry of the water into the cell sap, okay, then cell sap become more diluted after the entering the water into the cell sap, and ultimately there is osmotic pressure and suctional pressure, and the thirstiness of that root hair cell become lowers or fall down, while after the entry of the water within the cell root hair cell, then the turgor pressure is increases, the wall pressure or turgor pressure the increases on the cell wall of the root hair cell. These things are happen after entry of water from soil into the root hair cell. See here, see the soil water, that soil water through the osmotic diffusion that enters into the root hair cell. Then see this is the root hairs and this is the soil water, okay, and see this is the epidermis. I'm already told you that root hairs, these are nothing but the epidermal cell undergoes the prolongation and it forms the tubular outgrowth, it is nothing but the root hair. Water enter into the root hair cell, then now the water then enters into the cortical cell, okay. In a cortical cell adjacent to the root hair have a higher osmotic pressure, then suctional pressure and DPD as compared to the root hair cell. Therefore, water is drawn into the adjacent cortical cell from this root hair cell by osmotic diffusion. Same thing is happen here, okay. See within the soil osmotic, through the osmotic diffusion waters come into the root hair cell, then same by the process of osmotic diffusion the water is come into the cortical cell. In the same way the water by the cell to cell osmotic diffusion gradually reaches into the innermost cortical cell. These see here the water is move towards the innermost cortical cell, and then the water is reaches towards the endodermis. See here, the water is reaches towards the endodermis. Then osmotic diffusion of water into the endodermis takes place through the special thin wall cells are there, that these thin wall cells are called as passage cell. That thin wall cell is called the passage cell because the other endodermal cell have a Casparian strip, and this Casparian strip are present on their walls which are impervious to the water. Water cannot be go through this other endodermis cell through because of that Casparian strip is there. It is a barrier for the water transport. Then water from the endodermal cell is drawn into the cell of pericycle. See here in the diagram, next to the endodermis there is a single layer, pericycle is present. Then here the water is drawn into the cell of pericycle by osmotic diffusion, which now become turgid and their suctional pressure is decreases. In the last step, water is drawn into the xylem from the turgid pericycle cell, but the process is here also the osmotic diffusion takes place. It is because in absence of turgor pressure of the xylem vessel, because the xylems are the dead cells, okay, which are non-elastic. That's why the turgor pressure is absent in a xylem vessel or do not develop in a xylem vessel. The suctional pressure of the xylem vessel become very higher than the suctional pressure of the cell of pericycle. When the water enter into the xylem from the pericycle, a pressure developed in the xylem of roots which can raise the water to a certain height in the xylem, and this pressure is also called as root pressure. This pressure is also known as root pressure. See, this is the pathway. Here the soil water, it is enter into through the osmotic diffusion. It enters into the root hair cell. Same here, the osmotic diffusion is there from root hair cell. That water enters into the cortical cell. Then from that cortical cell, then water enters into the passage cell of the endodermis. Then that water is enter into the pericycle. Next to the endodermis there is a pericycle is present, and then from that pericycle water enters into the xylem, and then xylem it's developed within the xylem tissues there is developed the root pressure, and the next the water it's moves toward the upward through the stem with the help of xylem tissues, and finally the water reaches toward the leaves. See, this is the arrow. This arrow indicates the path of the water, and this is the diagram, a part of a TS of typical dicot root. See, this is regarding to the active osmotic absorption of water. Active non-osmotic absorption of water. It has been observed that absorption of water takes place even when the osmotic pressure of the soil is higher than the osmotic pressure of the cell sap. See, in active osmotic absorption here, the absorption only takes place when the osmotic pressure of the soil is lower than the osmotic pressure of the cell sap. But here the condition is reversed. Osmotic pressure of the soil is higher than the osmotic pressure of the cell sap. Even then there is a absorption of water is a takes place. This type of absorption, which is a non-osmotic, and this is against the osmotic gradient, requires the expenditure of metabolic energy, probably through the respiration. See, this process or osmotic, or there is a diffusion of water takes place against the concentration of the gradient, and that's why here the expenditure of metabolic energy or metabolic energy is required in the form of ATP. Here the following evidences supports this view. The first evidence is the factors which inhibit the respiration also decreases the water absorption. See, through the respiration, energy is provided. If the respiration is inhibited, then there is no metabolic energy, and then there is no water absorption. Means here the rate of respiration, it is directly affected to the rate of water absorption. Then second evidence, the poisons which retards metabolic activity of the root cell also retards the water absorption. Means here those poisons, they are harmful to the root hair cell. They slowly or retard or somewhat inhibit the process of the cells activities of the cell in a root hair. Then it's also retard the water absorption. Then the third evidence, auxin, it is a nothing but the plant growth regulator. The auxins, these plant growth regulator or hormones, they are naturally synthesized within the young leaves and the shoot apex of the plant. This auxin which increase the metabolic activities of the cell, and simultaneously absorption of water is also enhanced or also increases. See, these are some evidences that support this view of active non-osmotic absorption of water. See the next, passive absorption of water. It is the second main part. This type of water absorption does not require the use of metabolic energy. Here the metabolic energy investment is completely absent. The absorption occur by metabolic activities of the plant like as transpiration. What is a transpiration? The transpiration is the loss of water in the form of water vapor through the aerial plant parts like as a leaves, okay, through the stomata. This passive absorption is the type where the water absorption is through the transpiration pool. See here the transpiration pool, it is a nothing but the water is a loss in the form of water vapor through the leaves tissues. Then the how much amount of water is lost through the transpiration, and that much amount of water is absorbed by the root hair cells. Means here there is a transpiration pool is created from root to leaves, and through that this passive absorption of water takes place. This creates the tension, or they develop the force that helps in the movement of water upwards into the xylem sap. See, if the water is drawn from the leaves tissues, then the tension is developed, and that tension is created on the petiole. Then from that petiole water is drawn into the leaves, then the tension is developed in a stem tissues, stem xylem part. Then that from that root, then stem getting the water, then that tension is developed on the root cells, and then this way this transpiration pool is maintained. Higher is the transpiration rate, ultimately the higher is the absorption of water. Means simply here, the rate of transpiration is directly proportional to the rate of absorption of water. See here in this diagram, the transpiration pool is shown. See here, the water is absorbed by the root here. See here, the water is lost by the transpiration through the leaves tissues. Then see this tension is developed then in a petiole. Okay, then this tension is created or developed in a stem, and then this tension is developed in a root cell, and then water is absorbed by the root here, and this maintain the pool, this maintain the transpiration pool here. That's why here the water is lost by transpiration. How much water is lost, and that much water is absorbed by the root cell. Means here the water transpiration, okay, the rate of transpiration is directly proportional to the rate of water absorption. See, the transpiration is stopped, then the water absorption is also stopped. See here the see the flow of water. See, as a result, the soil water enter into the cortical cell through the root here to reach the xylem of the root to maintain the supply of water. The force for the entry of the water is a create in the leaves due to the rapid transpiration, and hence the root cell remain passive during this process of water absorption. See, during the absorption of water by the root, the flow of water from the epidermis to the endodermis may take place through the three different pathways. The first pathways is apoplastic pathways. Means here the water goes through the cell wall and in intracellular spaces. See here the apoplast pathway through the cell. See here this pink color lines shows that the path of the water. This water, it is attached to the cell wall, and it moves through the intercellular spaces present in between the cells. Then the transmembrane pathways by crossing the plasma membrane. See the transmembrane, this water, it is comes inside the cell through the plasma membrane. Then symplast pathway, means here the water goes through the plasmodesmata channel. See, these are the green line, it shows the symplast pathway through the cytoplasm of this plasmodesmata channel. These are nothing but the bridge like structure, and through that channels, plasmodesmata channel, here the water moves from one cell to another cell. This is the symplast pathway. Through these three different mechanism of water goes cell to cell? See, the mechanism of water absorption described earlier, in fact, belonging to the second category, and the relative importance of these three pathways in a water absorption by the root is not clearly established, and how a combination of these three pathways is responsible for transport of water across the root. See, this is regarding to the absorption of water in a crop plants. See, on this topic, the expected question is like that: what is the water absorption? Then give the difference between active and passive absorption of water. Or the 5 marks question is asked like that: give the mechanism of water absorption in crop plants. Then the next question: write a note on active absorption of water, or write a note on passive absorption of water. See, this kind of question is asked on this topic. Thank you.